what made you choose Brockport?
Yeah, when I came on my interview here, it was very evident that women's basketball mattered. So it was from the administration side, on campus, in the athletic department, other coaches thought women's basketball mattered. So that was really energizing for me, because obviously I think that women's basketball matters. Also, facilities were huge. Having nice things also matters. So that's an appeal for students coming in, academic majors for young women, as well as I think Brockport can attract young women from different backgrounds and different areas of the state of New York and outside.
So when you agreed to be the next head coach of the women's team, what was your vision for next season and for the next couple of years?
Right. I think we have a great base coming back of talent. So if we work hard in the off season, starting now this summer, I do think that we can place in the top 6 of the SUNYAC, and that would place us in the conference tournament. So I think that's a great place to start. And then moving from there, I'd love to finish, in the top 4 of conference and really consistently make the SUNYAC tournament every year to, then be able to move on to NCAAs.
So how do you plan to incorporate the Brockport Athletics mission statement into your team and the program? For those of you that don't know what the program mission statement is that the athletic department is to integrate college athletics into the mission of the college at Brockport, which has the success of its students at the highest priority. We achieve this by focusing on 4 key areas to integrate with the university, achieve academically, excel athletically, and to play with integrity. So how do you feel like you're going to incorporate that into your program with women's basketball?
I hold, the student athletes at the highest standard. They're the most important, and, we're working as a staff to make sure that they have the best experience possible. So our philosophy really is to help develop them as people, as academic, students, and then athletically as basketball players. So I really do feel like it's them, those student athletes, that we're concerned about, and we're helping them, on campus get ready for life after Brockport.
Cool. What did this season acting as the interim head coach of the Division I program in Niagara teach you?
Yeah, I learned a lot about myself in that role. Really, how you are as a coach, you need to be that person all the time. I learned about delegation. I have strengths and our staff has other strengths, and I'm going to let them be good at what they are good at. And then lastly, have fun. Laugh at yourself, enjoy it. It's just basketball.
So what will be the biggest adjustment from transitioning from D1 to D3?
Right. Major difference. I'm going to wear a lot of hats. So I'm going to have a smaller staff than we do at Division I. I'm going to be have my hands in a lot of different things. So I think just prioritizing, what's most important at what point of the year, and just wearing different hats.
What has been your biggest success as a coach so far in your career?
Yeah, biggest success, I would say, when I was at Genesee Community College, I inherited a team that had been to a national championship, and we were able to do the same thing. So we went to a national championship, and were able to win the first game. That was my biggest success story.
Who are some of your influences as a coach?
I have a lot of different influences. I'd mention my college basketball coach, Stephanie Pemper, is now at the Naval Academy. Just in short, she taught me how to, quote, figure it out. Kendra Foston, who I just worked for, taught me how to be a mom coach. I think that's really valuable. And then Jim Scheibel at Rochester has taught me a ton about X's and O's. So I would credit those 3 for being my mentors.
What style of play do you envision incorporating with Brockport?
I think fans and even players, they love to play fast. I would love to play fast, scoring quick, and when we need to, run some offense. I do like to run offense from defense as well, but we're going to do what we do well with the players that we have, and eventually we'll play fast.
In relation to that, what do you consider yourself, an offensive or defensive-minded coach?
I love defense. One thing about me that you'll learn is that I control what I can control, and I think the defensive end of the floor is something you can control.
How do you feel about the new rule change to make women's basketball 4 quarters instead of 2 halves?
Yeah, I think we needed change as a women's basketball, as a program, as an entity. I think change is going to be good for us. I'm curious to see what it will be like. We talk about it will make the game flow better, but I do think change is something we need.
Another rule change allows a post defender to put their open hand or forearm with a bent elbow on a player whose back is to the basket. Being a post player yourself, what is your take on the new rule?
Right. I mean, I think it's really physical in the post, so that was happening anyways. As long as we can control the displacements, I'm a fan of that rule for sure.
Last season, you were stuck on a bus for 36 hours with your team, in which you strung together a 5-game winning streak after. Is there anything you can take from that experience to use at Brockport?
Yeah. Don't worry, I won't put them on a bus in the snow and get stuck. It was really neat team bonding, and I thought our players, did a great job at Niagara handling themselves really professionally. We had a lot of social media and outlets and interviews and different people picking us up and talking, but it was great team bonding, and I'm not sure I can replicate it. I'll try.
Do you have any previous experience or run-ins with the returning members of the Brockport team?
Yeah, I would say I've known some of them from the recruiting trails. I've done a lot of work these past, I would say, 3 weeks getting to know the returners. So I feel pretty good about what they're going to bring and what we can do together here. But I do know some of them from the recruiting trails.
How will you transition Brockport into a perennial contender within the SUNYAC?
Yeah, it's a process. We're going to take step-by-step, methods to get there. I think, we're going to start right now with open communication and a strong summer workout program, and then it's really the athletes from there that have to buy in this summer. And then come the fall, expectations are going to be high, and who wants to reach those expectations or exceed those expectations, and we'll get the right people on the bus, and we'll keep moving day by day.
Last season you were coaching at Niagara, which is obviously close to the border. Do you envision recruiting any players from Canada? And from your experience, how does Canadian basketball in high school compared to basketball in the U.S.?
Right. Yeah, I have a lot of contacts in Canada, specifically Ontario, so I do envision, keeping those contacts and, if I can, working out a player or two to come to Brockport for sure, because those contacts you're never going to lose. Canadians, it's international. I know they're right above the United States, but it is a different type of basketball, a little more finesse, more skill, I think. So I do think that some Canadian student athletes can provide, some talent and some different talents here at Brockport.
Have any of Brockport's coaches given you any advice for your first season?
Advice, I would say a lot of help. Right now, just a lot of open arms, a lot of flexibility. I think that's been the biggest thing. In terms of advice, I don't know specifically yet that I've got that, but I think what I need is to just be welcomed and for people to be flexible, and that's what everyone's given me so far.
Perfect. Thank you, Coach, and welcome to Brockport.
Thank you.